and gentlemen, American jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Eric Deters Show. As always, we're sponsored by Deters Consulting, Parks Yoga. Check us out on all of our platforms. Well, there was a big Halloween party at Mar-a-Lago, and the number one costume was Joe and Hunter Biden. Kind of funny. Of course, President Trump did not get dressed up. That's not his kind of thing. All right, Speaker Mike Johnson is a Christian. All right? He's getting a lot of grief over it, which I don't understand. Does the mainstream media give grief about people in Congress who are Muslim? No! Just a Christian. That's going to the Christian. All right, it's come out that Fauci was running an operation with COVID strain a year before Wuhan in Montana. Imagine that. Mitten, a son named Tag, is never going to be president. And boy, he was really creative. And I cracked my how many people, hey, let's be Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Well, Mitt and his wife didn't make a very good Kelce and Swift. Wells Fargo says the 8% mortgage rates are going to give us a 1980s-like recession. Thank you, Joe Biden. May said it would be intriguing to be VP. She's not going to be VP, I tell you right now. The only person Trump's going to pick for VP is somebody who's lock, stock, barrel, 1,000% loyal to him. Mace is not that person. Fed today are going to announce what they're going to do, and they think they're not going to touch interest rates. How about starting to reduce them? Cornell, 21-year-old Patrick Dye, who said, let's take up the cause and go kill some Jews, is being suspended. He ought to be arrested. It's unbelievable. Medicare Advantage denials. There's reports all across Kentucky that and across the country that they deny, and it's killing rural hospitals, rural physicians, and everything else. See, the government controls our health care. Party mom, Shannon O'Connor. This is a wild story. She had wild sex parties at her house, encouraged kids to fool around young teenagers. Crazy stuff. Christopher Wray, you can't make it up. He actually sits in front of the Senate and says, when he's asked about being biased, but I'm a lifetime Republican. Not a rap. I'm a lifetime Republican. Really? You're a lifetime jerk. Patrick Byron, this guy says that he worked undercover for the FBI and was involved in an $18 million bribe to Hillary Clinton that he didn't do anything about. Crazy stuff, but it sounds true to me. WeWork's going to file bankruptcy. They were once valued at like $4 billion. SiriusXM losing a lot of subscribers, but apparently not advertisers. All right, time for vigilance. Christopher Wray, this cracks me up. Christopher Wray, the head of the FBI, testifies before the Senate yesterday committee, and he says that we need to be really, really vigilant about Hamas, Hezbollah, terrorist organizations doing something here in the United States. Why couldn't we be vigilant at the border? I mean, it's just truly nuts. Not be vigilant at the border so they get in, and then once they get in, our FBI tells us to be vigilant. Christopher Wray, why don't you tell our national security be vigilant at the border? It's infuriating. All right, a wine company that started out in the garage, all right, just got sold for $1 billion. That doesn't happen every day. All right, 600,000. Mayorkas has admitted. 600,000 gotaways. Don't you love that they come to these terms? And this is what Kamala Harris, Mayorkas, Biden said. They do this on purpose, and then they say, well, our immigration system is just broken. I mean, this is the crap that goes on day after day after day in our government. I've had enough of it. I got some plans. We got to start a movement in this country. It's different. Even different than the Trump movement. Donald Trump says he's going to be president again, and he's going to call it the United States of America. All right, James Comer says he wants to get moving on the impeachment inquiry. Wrap it up. I would assume he's got enough to impeach. AI is getting involved in trades. Now, what happened, Sabrina Kane? when AI controls everything, and that includes trades. Does everybody get rich trading off AI trades? Kind of crazy to think about, isn't it? There is some scuttlebutt that Putin's actually dead and his body double's playing him. Who the hell knows what's going on? It's kind of scary that happens, right? Bud Light sales in July dropped 17%. It's going down, down, down still. The judge in the Georgia case says Sidney Powell and Miss Ellis's files are not of any concern relative to the public seeing them, so the public's going to get to see everything, not private. All right, Murdoch says Tucker Carlson got too big for his britches. Really? You want them to be stars, they become stars. This is what corporate media does to talent. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, the American cheering Bulldog Nation, welcome to Eric Deters Local News. As always, we're sponsored by Deters Consulting, Park Yoga. Check us out on all of our platforms. Well, there was a crash on 275. Those of you that travel, this is between Wilder and Taylor Mill, going over the Licking River in the railroad yard there. It was crazy. It happened about yesterday, late afternoon. A vehicle, at least one vehicle, went through the guardrail down to the ground. There's a death. There was like 6 or 7 other vehicles, including a tractor trailer involved. It was shut down forever. And it was right when people were coming home for Halloween. So it was a nightmare for everybody. Prayers for those that were injured and the family of the deceased. In long crime, a 22-year-old up at UC was shot in the face early this morning at 2 a.m. Apparently non-threatening injury, non-life-threatening. How do you get shot in the face and not be life-threatening? All right, a Fairfield Township man, this guy right here, James Evans, zip-tied his daughter to the bed. Nice punishment. He's been arrested. And there's been arrested in kidnapping. Ohio man right here, William Tate, 27. An Ohio woman was rescued. 2 men were charged. Anthony Grinnell and William Tate. You don't hear that very often, do you? Somebody's actually rescued from a kidnapping. And a St. Bernard cop was arrested. He was out partying Halloween and was drunk. Kind of feel sorry for the guy, you know? Lieutenant Michael Mathewson was arrested near the Wyoming Recreation Center on Springfield, obstructing official business. He'd been at a Halloween party. His ex-wife called 911. Oops. You don't hang out with your ex-wife. Bad things happen. And then it was a Covington shooting. 1 dead, 1 injured. Suspect charged with murder. Patrick Sand, 51, was declared dead at the scene. It seems like there's a Covington shooting every day now, too. Not good. What's going on? All right, local news. Daylight savings time Saturday night. Turn your clocks back. We fall back. We gain an hour's sleep. Don't you love it? I love it. I just need to leave it alone. This is a wild story. A Fairfield man in a lawnmower accident turned over on top of him in a pond. Firefighters got him. Apparently he's going to be okay. All right, in Kentucky news, and this drives me nuts. Beginning today, you can enroll Kentucky Next Insurance. Our insurance is so screwed up. Whatever happened to the days where you needed health insurance, you'd contact somebody. Now there's only these windows. Obamacare has brought about the destruction of our healthcare industry, the destruction of our health insurance, and full-blown government takeover of insurance. Government has taken over healthcare, folks. Government runs. All hospitals have to have government money. All doctors groups have to have healthcare money. It is completely socialized medicine now. They might as well call it as such. This makes me sick. Makes me sick. More and more Kentucky students are suffering from mental health. And counselors are blowing the whistle on it and say, hey, there's problems here. Can you imagine everything a kid has to deal with today? Sad. Breonna Taylor jury selection is going forward. This on one of the police officers involved. This is the federal criminal case. Daniel Cameron, I tell you right now, this is infuriating to me. Daniel Cameron gets the endorsement of Donald Trump for the primary. Daniel Cameron wins the primary, and then he takes down the Trump endorsement. He's getting his ass kicked by Eddie Bashir. So what does he do? He starts doing a Trump ad, and apparently somebody's talked Trump into doing a video re-endorsing Daniel Cameron a week from the election. I've told the Trump campaign, Cameron's going to lose, and McConnell and all of them are going to blame you. McConnell has ran this campaign. And guess what? After he does that commercial, they asked Daniel Cameron if he supports Trump for president, and he dodged the question. I mean, this is another example of how bad politics is, how bad politics sucks. Trump did not endorse me, very loyal supporter, or Kelly Craft, a loyal supporter. He supports Daniel Cameron, McConnell's guy, who he hates. After he wins the primary, he disavows Trump. Daniel Cameron has never defended Donald Trump one time on any of these indictments. Not one time. Trump endorses him again, and then Cameron St. Peter's Trump again. It's insanity. This is what I can't handle about politics. It's screwy. Donald Trump is going to get blamed for the defeat, too. National television, they'll say, well, this was a test on Trump. I have told the Trump campaign, don't do it. They're going to blame you. They didn't listen to me. He's going to lose anyway. Trump people have figured out Daniel Cameron. In the state of Kentucky, all of us Trumpers know that Daniel Cameron is McConnell's guy. We know that. I tell you, man, screw politics. Screw politics. There's a great reason why we need to start a strong independent movement in this country. And I know traditionally it's hard for independents to win and all that. But I think we got to start somewhere because both political establishments suck. All right, what do we have? The polling. All the reports are Bashir is cleaning Cameron's clock in every category. He's even knocking off Trump supporters. Imagine that. Kentucky early voting starts tomorrow. You're going to vote early? I am. Get it out of the way. My good friend Alan Keck, city of Somerset, Wall Street Journal, says Somerset's the worst city in the state of Kentucky. I don't believe that. Neither does Alan Keck. I told Alan Keck about it. I said, Alan, what's going on? All right, Cameron and Bashir, money. $25 million to $5 million rolling into this thing. And it's clear if you watch the television set or you check your mail, Bashir is clobbering Cameron. And guess what? Also, this last week, Bashir's running a positive message. Old Daniel isn't. That tells you a lot. Sad news, there was a collapse in an old mine in Martin County, Kentucky. 2 people were trapped. They're trying to rescue them. Bashir's issued an executive order. I hope they're okay. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.
Hello again. You're watching Eric Deters World News. This is Jamie Spinley with today's headlines. The first group of injured evacuees from Gaza has entered Egypt in ambulances via the Rafah border crossing. Earlier today, the Palestinian border authorities said 81 seriously injured Gazans would be allowed to enter Egypt to complete hospital treatment, but it is unclear how many people have been allowed to cross so far. It is thought foreign passport holders will also be allowed to leave Gaza. Russia struck an oil refinery in Ukraine after launching dozens of drones and missiles overnight. The strikes targeted critical infrastructures and military installations, but only 2 kamikaze drones were not intercepted, Ukraine Air Force has said. Bolivia has become the first Latin American country to cut diplomatic ties with Israel over what it describes as an aggressive military action in Gaza. The country called for a ceasefire and said it would be supplying the blockaded Gaza Strip with aid. And the Panama Canal will make more cuts to the number of ships using the waterway due to the worst drought in over 70 years. It is expected to increase the cost of shipping goods around the world. That's the latest headlines. Until tomorrow, cheerio.
Ladies and gentlemen, American cheering Bulldog Nation, welcome to Sports Without Boundaries. Well, the Texas Rangers scored 5 runs in the second, 5 runs in the third, and they held on to win 11-7 at Arizona. There is some bizarre things going on in this World Series, Josh Wentz. Every team between these two teams who have scored in the whole playoffs for each of these teams, when they've scored first, they've won. And the Rangers have not lost on the opposing team's field. Bizarre. We'll see if they can close it out tonight. Some more interesting things about the game is Garcia and Scherzer are out of the series due to injury. Also, this is the lowest rated TV World Series in history. And what's sad about that is this year's baseball season, everything was up. It was so good, so great, because the changes in that pitching rule. They sped up the pitching, sped up the games. It changed everything for me. You also had incredible competitive races. But I think that this is one of those situations where, the Rangers are near Dallas, but I think it's one of those circumstances, and sure, Arizona, but it's not East Coast, West Coast. It doesn't have that dynamic. But I also think it has to do with the way you watch baseball. They put this stuff on Prime. Some of the game, well, the World Series isn't, but I don't know, they should make it more accessible. The old timers like me want to watch it on regular television. But we'll see what happens. College football ratings are out. The Buckeyes are numero uno. Michigan's number 2, Georgia's 3rd, Florida State is 4th, Washington and Oregon 5th and 6th. My Alabama tied is 9th. This is the only thing that matters right here. We'll see how it plays out. All right, the Raiders fired Josh McDaniel and David Ziegler, the GM. I guess Monday night's football game was enough for him. 49ers acquired Chase Young. Now, this is wild, Josh Wentz. In 2019, the 49ers drafted Nick Bosa from Ohio State. In 2020, the Redskins drafted Chase Young. They're now going to be on opposite ends, Ohio State Buckeyes for the 49ers. Maybe it'll help the 49ers D. The Bills, this is funny, the Bills got Rasul Douglas recently during a game. Allen told the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills told Douglas he sucked. Now we'll see how they become teammates. The Bills also signed Leonard Fournette at running back. So the Bills are making a move. They need to do something. The Bengals on Sunday Night Football want it to be striped. They play the Bills. They want it to be striped. Are you going to join in and wear the right color for your section? It's a lot of work to do to make sure you participate in these things. The defamation case against Jerry Jones from the woman who claimed she fathered his child has been dismissed. Jerry's happy. UK plays Kentucky State tomorrow in an exhibition game. Dabo Sweeney is under fire at Clemson. He told a fan off. He said, "You can apply for the job." Yeah. That's right, Dabo. Coach Payne, University of Louisville, is suffering. He says he doesn't have a good team. They've lost twice to level 2, Division 2 teams. Guess who else has lost to a Division 2 team recently? Rick Pitino, St. John's. I don't know. Marcus Jordan. This is Michael Jordan's son, who's going out with Larissa Pippen, Scotty's ex. Marcus wants Michael to be his best man. We'll see if he does it. NHL scores. Kings 4, Maple Leafs 1, Canucks 5, Predators 2. By the way, the police in London have opened up an investigation in Adam Johnson's death, as they should. In NBA news, the Knicks 109, Cavs 91, Spurs 115, Suns 114. Booker didn't play. Clippers 118, Magic 102. The Clippers have an all-star team now. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jerry and Bulldog Nation, welcome to Eric Deters Pop Culture. A little light today, not a lot of pop culture stuff going on, but we got a few good things. Sophie Turner must be some kind of skank. She's busted kissing again, Peregrine Pearson. She kisses every man she meets. Heidi Ween, have you heard about Heidi Ween? This is a big Halloween party that Heidi Klum puts on in New York City. And her big cape and everything else, she included 10 friends. So her Halloween costume was 10 people with her. Hugh Jackman was seen out with another woman. This is what we always have to, when they break up. And they walk 10 feet behind him like, oh, I'm not really with this woman behind me. Mar-a-Lago had a Halloween party last night. Donald Trump was out there partying with the crowd in Mar-a-Lago in the good spirit. Paige Spiranak, the hot chick, she decided to go like a Baywatch chick. How would you like to walk into a Halloween party and see that, Josh Wentz? Now, this is the top story. I really should have put this first. Bill Maher interviewed Tommy Lee on his show. And by the way, Tommy Lee does not seem right. And he looks emaciated. I mean, he just doesn't look good at all. Remember, he was claiming, Josh Wentz, that he drank a couple gallons of vodka?
2 gallons.
2 gallons of vodka. Well, you know what he said? He said he and Styx would freaking shoot into their veins Jack Daniels. Who does that? Tommy Lee does that.
I guess when you run out of coke.
My goodness gracious. Well, can you imagine the chemicals he's had in his body? There's no way he makes 70. We'll see. All right. This is the nice story. Patty Scalifa, Bruce Springsteen's wife, made it into the New Jersey Music Hall of Fame. Good for her. And this is funny. De Niro had to admit on the stand that he asked his assistant to scratch his back. You talking to me? You talking to me? I said scratch my back. I have never asked any of my assistants to scratch my back. But De Niro has. Good luck there, Robert. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.